Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday night. Throw us a thumbs up if you can hear our audio okay and see our picture. I see North Star Great Danes, New Vision Security Services, Nelia. You guys hear us okay? Can you see our doggies? Well, at least one of them. The other one's right down here on the floor. Maybe she'll show herself. This is Priscilla. What? You gonna be the silent guest tonight, are you? Not gonna say anything? All right, so we have the live tonight to talk about what to do with your pets while you're traveling. I'm still waiting for somebody to confirm, making sure that our audio is okay before we get started.
No, you said yes.
Okay, we've got a message that it's okay. Wonderful. So I guess a couple of things first before we dive right in. Wanted to do an announcement for our new podcast. We have a podcast series that's really focused on some of the charities that we support. And you can find that on our website, pawseffect.com, PAWZEFFECT. We have mostly, I guess so far, it's all been dog rescues. The few that we have up there right now. But we have one that actually we were supposed to record the other day. We had to reschedule with Honor Flag, which is a service member charity that travels around. We met them at the Tampa RV show, and we're pretty excited about having something that really represents our servicemen well. And so check that out when you get a chance. And we did also have a video that went up tonight. A popular topic I see on the RV Facebook groups is around how you get financing for your RV. We kind of talk about some of the surprise that we had with financing for our motorhome that we just got, that we're in right now. So we thought it would be smooth and easy because our credit scores were fantastic and we had a decent down payment, but it turned out it was a little bit more frustrating than what we thought. So that video just went up tonight. You can check it out to hear that story. See, Suburban Florida Outdoors came on. Thanks for joining, Aaron. How are you doing, Aaron?
You did that video?
What's that?
You did a finance video?
Yeah.
When?
I posted it today. You didn't know it. Because you're always busy working on other stuff. She used to like approve every video before it went up, but now we've both been so busy. The last 6 or 7 kind of went up without our permission, so don't share all those crazy footage that I shared of her that she's probably excited about. Still debating between a motorhome or a fifth wheel. We've never had a fifth wheel, so we can't answer that one. We can answer the travel trailer, the sway, and a lot of reasons, but probably the main reason that we upgraded was to get rid of the trailer sway, don't you think? Or
absolutely.
And being able to boondock more with the generator, and also being able to put the motorcycles in the back, since we got motorcycles. That's the main reason. Oh, Presley's
water.
Bugging me. She wants some water. You want me to get her water? You gonna talk?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, then she'll have to wait for the water.
Poor puppy.
All right, so Aaron, you have 3 Doxies. Next time I have you on, we'll have to get a look at them. I think I've seen them when we were on before in the background. So let's get right to what to do with your pets while traveling. So we have these 2 big dogs that are getting ready to come over here, maybe, and get in the picture. Let's see if we can get them. Say hi, guys. That's Priscilla. Come here, Presley. There's Presley. We've had Presley since she was 1. Well, we rescued her.
trying to get comfortable.
Oh, we rescued her, and she's been a fantastic dog. She's probably been, as far as low maintenance, she's probably been the most low maintenance dog that we've had in our entire life, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
She does some little funny things, like she'll come up and she'll paw you. She'll put her, she'll, if you're sitting here and she needs you, which is not very often, she'll paw you and grab you. And then the other thing she does is, which you may have seen a recent video we did on that as well, where she grabs her bowl and knocks it around until she gets our attention and gets more food. Sometimes we give her more food, sometimes we don't, because she's getting plenty of food and she's starting to get a little fat. So we try to keep her on the vet recommended portions each day. And then there's Priscilla. We've had her so Presley's 8 now. We've had her 7 years. And Priscilla is 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've had her for 2.5 years.
Yep.
And she was a rescue, and we wanted to rescue a dog with special needs. And we were thinking deaf, because then you'd have to deal with the sign language. But we weren't really necessarily thinking the separation anxiety. So
I don't know. We would have done separation anxiety, because that's. I just didn't have any information on it when we got her. So
so when we first got her
to take in,
we were told she was crate trained, and she wasn't. She didn't stay in her crate. She kind of freaked out if you put her in a crate. And then just a few days after we got her, we had a weekend camping trip planned.
But that was our fault, though.
Yeah, that was our fault. We didn't realize, needing to keep them.
Letting them decompress once they're put into a new home, and not
right
changing their surroundings again.
Yeah, and
her out.
And so we went 2 hours, and the whole 2 hours she was in the back and would not calm down in the truck.
15 minutes into the ride, and we had a brand new Expedition, and she started to chew the seat belts
in the back.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was interesting. And, once we got camping, I think she did pretty well, but over time she's gotten a lot better. She's a fantastic traveler now. I mean, we travel 4 or 6 hours and she just lays down and goes to sleep, but it took a little while. But of course, at that point, she wasn't really, she thought maybe we were taking her probably somewhere to drop her off, which is just what happened to her.
The first time I went camping, yes.
Because the people that were fostering her were in Indiana, and they drove her to Missouri. So she might have been thinking the same thing. Last time I got in the car, I went from my owners that I had known for a while to my new owners. So we've dealt with the separation anxiety quite a bit. We've done a few different videos kind of showing what that looks like when we leave her. The good news is she's getting a lot better, and we actually have her on a medication now, which is a daily medication, and we can go 4 or 6 hours now, and she's fine. We come back and she's fine. We did get a Wise camera that we hook up in the motorhome, so we can keep an eye on her and make sure she's safe when we're gone. So if we're going somewhere 4 or 6 hours, we don't have to think about getting a pet sitter or anything like that. If we're going to be gone, all day, we will get some daycare or a pet sitter or something like that, right? And then obviously at times we want to do something for maybe all day and not have to pick them up late at night, so we'll do boarding. And I guess what was the first thing that we did in San Antonio? We hadn't tried Rover yet, right? Last year, had we tried Rover before we went to San Antonio, or was that after that?
I don't know.
I think it was after that. So we'll talk about Rover in just a minute, but we will we'll also talk about a thing that you can do if you're in an area and you're going to be there for a little while. We basically in San Antonio last year, we went to a yappy hour at Rita's on the River down at the Riverwalk. If you've not ever been to the Riverwalk, it's definitely something that would be fun to do. And so we went to Rita's on the Riverwalk for this yappy hour. And
the Riverwalk?
The Riverwalk? Is that what I said?
You said
you're not going to talk, but you're going to make fun of me. You got to shut up.
Sorry.
And if you want to put any of these comments up there,
I
you figured it out.
Let me be.
All right. See how she is? All right. So we went to that Yappy Hour, and it was fun Yappy Hour, but we actually met a couple people there from a local dog border place. And they were giving out $50 coupons and a free sniff around. And so we were going to be there for a couple weeks. And we wanted to go to some caves, I think, to explore some caves and a couple other things. So we took them over there one Saturday for their free sniff around. 2 dogs both got to stay there all day for their sniff around to make sure they could come back to the daycare. And so the next Saturday, we actually used our $50 to take them back. So we basically got 2 free days for 2 dogs. And we ended up paying like $17 total. So look for events to get coupons and maybe get some of those specials as you're traveling around. Because if you're traveling somewhere every week or two, you get your papers with you. You go get the free sniff around and get a free day of daycare. So that's something that you can do as you travel. If you are more interested in taking them to some place where they would be not with a bunch of other dogs, like at a home environment, or even having somebody come to your place. We haven't done that yet, but with Rover, you're able to have both the ability to take them to somebody's house or the ability to have them come and pet sit or pet walk. There's a bunch of different services on Rover, and she knows quite a bit more about Rover than I do. But we first started using that shortly after we were in San Antonio, and it's just called rover.com. And you want to talk a little bit about how you set that up? You don't want to talk about how you set that up? Okay.
I just use their app. It's a very easy app. And you put in all your dog's information, all their vaccinations, feeding instructions. You can sort it through to where they only live in. I didn't know if that changed yet. They only live, let's say, in a house, not an apartment, no kids, no other animals or cats, things like that. You can really narrow it down. And then it shows the person's location on your map near you and the rate, and then you just contact them through the app. It's pretty easy.
Right. And how does it? We pay before we actually drop them off, right? You pay with your credit card, or you've got a credit card on the app.
Yes, you have a credit card on the app. Basically, you're booking it, you're reserving it, but they don't get paid until after your visit is over, to make sure that there's no problems. So.
And you don't see their actual address?
No, or their actual phone
number until after you pay, or ever? Well, you have to see their address.
Well, yes, their address, but that's only once you book. And that was if you're going to, obviously their house to have them dog sit or board.
And so then after you book, you can communicate over the app, kind of like you do with Airbnb, right? Where it's they don't know your number, but through the app, there is the ability to communicate and make arrangements. And like if they've got a security code or they've got you've got to get through a gate or something like that, you can text them through the app and let them know you're there, type of thing. So we've used Rover, probably over a dozen times. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And let's talk about how you can tell where they're at, but you don't have an address.
Just gonna bug you. See if
you can hide that. So you got this one here. You can tell where they're at and what area they're at, but you don't have an address.
Right.
And you can also look at all the ratings beforehand, so to see what their ratings are.
Reviews, yeah.
Now, could you talk to them before you booked about the fact that she had separation anxiety and some of the things that we had to do?
You can inquire. First of all, you put in the dates and request for them to, let's say, daycare. You can't talk to them until after you put in the dates and request them. But you're not committing to anything at that point until both of you agree, and then it will give you the option to go ahead and book it. I think it's probably on the providers and where agreement has been made, and then they say yes, okay, I'll do this, I'll watch them,
Right.
and then you book it.
And out of the 12 to 15 times we've used Rover, pretty much we've had only one what you call really poor experience.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, that was probably one of the most important ones because it was when we went to Maui.
Right.
So we were going to be in Maui for 2 weeks. And you had very clear communication with this person that she couldn't be left alone really at all. Because at that time, we hadn't got a handle really on the separation anxiety at all. So it was basically, she's going to sleep with you. She's going to go everywhere with you. And, you know, you can't really leave the house.
You can't leave her. That's the first thing I ask is, are you home all the time? And I wouldn't, if I didn't mean all the time, I would say, are you home the majority of the time? So with Priscilla, there's 2 things, and that is, are you home all the time? And how do you feel about a tiny horse sleeping with you? Because it's going to happen. And both of those things, she said, yes, I'm home all the time, and no problem with her sleeping with us. And the second day, she was complaining that she can't get her to sleep on the floor, and
she had to leave and go somewhere.
And she left her, you know, actually the second day, along with trying to make her sleep on the floor. And it's like, I already told you, and I mean, I've got, you know, proof that you agreed to all of that. You said it was no problem, and it was a problem. It was what, the third day?
Yeah, the third.
Of constant when we're in Maui. I finally had to ask one of our daughters, our middle daughter Janessa, to come and to go get her.
Well, she left and went somewhere for an hour, but she left a bag of treats on the table. And the tiny horse got into him. It's like, of course she's going to get into him. You're leaving treats on the table.
So anyway, our daughter went and got her. I had her take her to the kennel, which she doesn't do well in kennels because they're putting her in a crate at night.
But that was the first time we ever had to take her out.
But yes, but because of the fact that she was already so upset from being from the experience at the caregiver with the Rover, and then we took her to the kennel, then she got sick, and so then our daughter ended up having to go rescue her. Oh, you might need out, and I had to do, you know, chicken and rice diet because she had upset her stomach so bad from stress. But she's much better now.
Yep, she's doing much. And that was really the only bad experience. We've had some really, really good ones. And then you probably saw the most recent one just a few videos ago when we were in Seattle, and we dropped them off for the football game. Or was it the football game, or when we went and rode the motorcycles?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it was the motorcycles.
Yeah, the football game was the other guy.
And we had what we think was a stoner sitter, and everything turned out all right. We had a little bit of fun with the situations. If you haven't seen that video, I think it's called Stone Pet Sitter. You might want to check that out if you want. If you need a laugh. If you need a laugh. But they turned out to be.
They were great.
Yeah, it was a great thing. So.
He could have just been a quiet, tired guy.
Yeah, that's true, but that doesn't explain the smell. Or
Washington
the eyes.
Smells like that now.
That's true. I got to tell you, in the states that have legalized it, you smell it everywhere. California is the same way too. Smell. Yeah, you smell it. You smell it everywhere. It's kind of crazy. So, and then the other thing we've seen, we have not used this, but if you are needing either pet walking or pet sitting, and you're at a fairly large RV resort, check the clubhouse to see if they have anybody that's posted cards up there, because like a lot of full-time RVers, they find a way to make money on the road and pet sitting. In fact, there's one here that's pet grooming.
Yes.
Yeah, there's pet grooming, and they'll do nails and full trimming and basically full services, and they'll come to your spot and groom your dog for you. So that's another thing you can look for. And you know, if anybody else, obviously there's quite a few of you in the chat here that probably have pets and have dealt with it. If you have some other ideas, share them with each other in the chat. And any other dog topics that you'd like to talk about, we're happy to chat about those as well.
What I hate your laptop.
You got to raise your wrists up so you don't get to hit the soft pad.
I have the same laptop.
Then why?
Because you trained yours.
It's my
differently.
jacket. It's my jacket trying to tie it.
Go ahead. Carry on.
Carry on.
Go ahead.
What was I going to bring up next? It was something dog related. Oh, one of the focuses of our travel, which we haven't, unfortunately, we haven't really found a lot of, is we were trying to find doggy destinations, and besides just your dog parks and nature trails and stuff like that, but cool, unique businesses focused on dogs. And of course, we found some dog bakeries here and there that we went to, and there's a lot of restaurants that have outdoor seating that you can take your dogs to. But one of the first ones we went to was called Barcade Dog Bar in Kansas City. They're building one in St. Louis right now.
Are they?
Yeah, in the Grove.
Cool.
So if it's done this summer, we'll have to go check that one out too, because this Barcade is like a sports bar with a dog park, and you can take your dogs in there, and they've got a full menu, a fairly nice menu. We ate there. I can't remember what we had, but it was good food. And then they've also got a doggy menu, so you can, out in this one area, you can bring your dogs in with you out on this decking area out there, and you can order what we ordered, like a flight of different doggy entrees, so small portions of entrees, and then you can also order them a doggy beer or a doggy brew. And so that was one of our first videos over a year and a half ago, I think, in Kansas City, called Barcade Dog Bar. So you might want to check that one out. If you're going through Kansas City, I would highly recommend that, because it was really the most unique dog experience that we've seen so far. Anything else? Don't touch it.
Oh,
Any topics coming up you want to talk about in there?
I'm reading tips and such on keeping a binder for each.
Yeah, show that one up there. Keep a binder on each day.
With the microchip and vet and vaccinations.
They're in Dade City, just very short ways away here from us in Bushnell here. So we just met them the other day. It's awesome. Yeah, and talk to other people on YouTube and get ideas, share ideas. I mean, learn so much on these live chats and other videos. It's a great resource. And we're not talking about motorcycles and motorcycle riding tonight, but last year we met Don and Nelia Wall in Texas, and we decided to get motorcycles. And the main reason we're in Florida this year was to ride with them, and learning from them, riding with them has been also cool. So if you have a topic you want to learn more about, hook up with somebody that's got some experience there. And Danes like the lick, just like our welcome mat says. Our dog can't hold its liquor.
Yeah.
That's very true when it comes to Danes.
And yes, both of our dogs are microchipped.
The Keys have a lot. We wanted to go to the Keys. We'd like to get down to the Keys for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the places we'd like to go. And speaking of that, basically, let's talk a little bit about what our plans are.
Let's work at Amazon. You can bring your dog to work.
Working at Amazon all the place. That's just cool. I can bring my dog to work.
Okay.
So what was I saying? Oh, we are actually leaving Bushnell tomorrow for 2 weeks to go back home for a bunch of birthdays that we have. We have 7 birthdays. Well, 2 of them have already had their birthdays, but we're kind of going to lump them in together. We've got 2 kids that have birthdays and 5 grandkids that have birthdays between now and the end of February. So we're going to go home for 2 weeks to St. Louis, get to stay in our house. We've got it blocked out, so we get to sleep in our bed. We've got some plumbing work that needs to get done there that we're going to do.
Outside,
yeah. And celebrate some birthdays with the family, and then we're going to come right back down to Bushnell and spend probably right around another 6 weeks, the second half of February and most of March And then after that, we will head up and see some friends in South Carolina for a few days. And then we're probably going to stop at Don and Nelia Wall's place in North Carolina for a few days as well, ride motorcycles around there before we continue our way back to St. Louis around April 5th, 6th, 7th, somewhere in there. When we get to St. Louis to our house, I think you said we get the house on the 7th.
Yes.
Get the house back on the 7th.
Yeah,
So yeah, Aaron, I think I'm not sure when it's supposed to open, but I was talking to somebody the other day that said that there's going to be a Barquet in the Grove area, which is only about 10 minutes from our house, if that far. Yeah. So it would be a great meetup spot. And that's another topic I'd like to talk about. So we are going to be back down here for 6 weeks before we head back to Missouri. So thinking about picking a date on a weekend for maybe just doing an impromptu lunch, not really impromptu, schedule a lunch and see if anybody in the area would like to come and just have a small group meetup or whatever size meetup we can have with the people, whether you're an RV community or another community, dogs, pets, that type of stuff. We can just meet up and chat and get to know each other a little bit more. What part of South Carolina? Our friend lives in Rock Hill, so it's almost to North Carolina. It's right across the border of Charleston. No, not Charleston. Charlotte. I think.
She's really thirsty.
She's thirsty? Okay, then answer some questions.
I am trying to.
Tell them how great I am.
They already know that.
Tell them you couldn't get by without me, all the stuff that I do.
Absolutely. You're telling them, so.
I have a sense of humor.
You do.
So did you see my joke the other day?
No.
You know what they call it when women get older and have to have a lot of dog? It's called their mini dog's phase. A mini pause. Mini pause.
Yes, I heard that.
No party drinks tonight. We played some games with some friends, had a couple wine coolers, but we're kind of pacing ourselves right now. We had a fun karaoke
let's be
night.
Honest.
We ran out.
We're gonna run out of our root beer moonshine before we get back there, and we're afraid of that. So.
Yeah, so a plug for this place in Maggie Valley, North Carolina, called Elevated Spirits. They have a small distillery there. What? How
do you
loud
not
she is?
hear them?
I know, but
she is both of them.
I know, but when you point on there, it's pointing that way, and the dogs are actually ridiculous. That way.
But if I do that, then you're gonna look at the window.
Right?
So exactly. Go ahead.
So this place called Elevated Spirits, they make a vodka, they make a couple of different moonshines, peach pie moonshine, which I thought I liked when I had it in the flight, but the root beer is way, way better. The root beer is dangerous because you can put it with like cream soda.
You can make root beer floats with it?
Yeah, and it is fantastic. It's fantastic.
Elevated. Here we go.
Yeah, Elevated Mountain Distillery. So if you're going through, they do tours. You get $5. You can pay $5 to get a flight of the different spirits that they have. I think they have a vodka.
Yes, a vodka.
A couple of whiskeys.
A couple of moonshines.
A couple of moonshines. A couple of whiskeys. And I think there was one other. Did they have it? They didn't have a gin, did they? No.
No.
Anyway, they've got a real cool distillery there. They have some live music and. It's worth the stop, and the root beer moonshine is something you probably should pick up and try. I mean, if you like root beer at all, it's got a fantastic flavor. And if you're in that area, you should connect with Nelia Wall, especially because actually they have a small little. Gin. Oh, they have a gin. Nelia and Don have they put in a little RV park. I think it's 2 or 3 spots that's right next to their house on the property that they have. And it's in this beautiful area of North Carolina with fishing and streams. And if you like motorcycle riding, it's right near this road called the Tail of the Dragon. And so you can check them out, connect with them on here possibly. We're going to do a video when we're there, and we'll show you what it's all about. But we've seen some pictures and just vouching for the people. Fun people to get to know that area, and what we hear about the area is it's just gorgeous.
3 spots.
3 spots. They have 3 spots there. And if you tell them we sent you, they'll let you pay full price.
Yeah.
They won't charge you any more at this point. By the time we leave, they might charge you more if we send.
Yes.
Hey, Lucky Dog. Thanks for jumping in.
What's your next subject?
Make sure no bike parts on the tree. Oh, yeah. If you're riding a curvy road, you don't want any bike parts on the tree. I think that's what he means, right?
Good advice.
Yes.
Oh, she's going to charge extra. Don't say you know us.
Will our pups be going back home with us? Yes. Yes. We're actually leaving the motorhome here, and we're just taking the Jeep back for a couple of weeks, and then we'll be back down. And there's Buddy the Talking Bashan. If you have not seen that YouTube channel, you should check it out. This Bashan it's animated. Well, it's kind of animated. It's a real Buddy's a real Bashan. But I think the talking is animation. I don't think he can really talk as well as he does on there. But it's definitely worth it.
On the internet, it's got to be true.
It's got to be true. I'm a French model. Yeah, it's got to be true.
Yeah. All right, we're quiet.
Well, this one's quiet because she's right here.
True.
What's she doing? Oh, she's ready for bed. So, one should I show them? I don't know if you can see back there. There she is. She's looking from our bedroom saying, why aren't we going to bed? She's pretty crazy that way.
She is.
All right. Any other topics? Any questions about traveling with dogs? Is there anything else?
Aaron said there's a tree at the end of the dragon ride that is full of
Oh, yeah. That's right. I think somebody was telling me about that at Dragon Tree. It was what Amelia said. Aaron, have you rode it? Have you rode it before? We're loving our new rig, and we are absolutely enjoying our motorcycles a lot. We love our motorcycles, but we're also looking at possibly upgrading, both of us probably later this year. We got starter.
You're so cute. Later this year.
Yeah, later
this year could be tomorrow.
She's probably going to upgrade before we leave Bushnell. I would almost bet on that. I will probably upgrade sometime this year
before we leave Bushnell. Okay.
I'm going to ride my Eagle Rider stuff for a while. I will not upgrade.
Okay.
I'm always behind schedule. You're always ahead of schedule.
Right. Yeah.
Unless what happens last time, she got a motorcycle, so I had to get a motorcycle.
Yes.
But now, if she gets a better motorcycle or different motorcycle and I like it, she thinks I'm going to upgrade, but I won't because I've got a motorcycle I can ride. So the sense of urgency isn't there. 20 something years and she still doesn't know me.
Really?
No. All right. So we will have some preview for your bucket list, Aaron, because when we go back up in March, we are going to not only do a video on their little RV area there, but we're going to have them take us on some rides and take us to do some things to put together a video about what you could do too if you connect with them and come stay at their place. And I will give you a little bit of a warning.
What?
Don likes the moon people.
Oh.
So just be ready, and if he turns around, just close your eyes. So
we'll try to.
Unless you want to see a
scary
retired butt, yeah. The American Wonder, thanks for coming in. Lily Gypsy Child, hello. We talked quite a bit about dogs. And if any of you that are just joining, if you have any questions, we can repeat some of that information if you want. Otherwise, you can come back and watch the video after we're done. We're pretty much wrapping up with the dog topics that I wanted to talk about. Softum Custale had it for 27 years, second owner. Nice. I'm probably thinking I'm probably
Yeah.
going to go with a fat Bob or a fat boy or something like that, which
See, Aaron agreed.
go soft tail. Yeah. Everybody's saying soft tail, soft
Mhm.
tail, soft tail. Yeah, I definitely am not a big fan of the big touring bikes. I like the looks of the bobbers and the sportsters and the soft tails, fat bobs, fat boys. Of course, some of those street rods and CVOs, they're pretty sharp looking too.
Mhm.
Yes, she's answering the question here. I won't steal her thunder. She looked at me. That was the throat punch look. Yeah, Presley tries to sleep with us from time to time, but we've let her a couple of times, but there's just not much room with those two big dogs on the bed. And she really, on the rare occasion, usually if Presley wants to get up there, she'll only stay for 5 or 10 minutes, and then she'll leave. Sometimes she'll get up there before Priscilla, just to tease her, like, I've got your spot. But before we got Priscilla, Presley never even wanted to sleep with us because she didn't, she likes getting attention, but only on her terms. She doesn't like you to like try to cuddle with her or anything like that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, North Star, we are going, while I'm gone on these 2 weeks, I'm going to look at a time and look at maybe a dog friendly restaurant to do a meetup. So we might look at two. We might look at one where we'll take the dogs and then one where we'll take the motorcycles without the dogs and give two options for meetups. We don't have a king size bed in the RV. We have a king size bed at home, and there's plenty of room there. Chris actually built an extension to our bed, and it was just a little top heavy, and it was going to work because Priscilla doesn't have to be. We found this out when we were in Washington because we slept on the big couch that your dad has, and it had plenty of room at this sectional couch at the end of it where Priscilla could sleep down there. We could still be fully stretched out, and she was past our feet at the end, and she was fine. So she doesn't have to be between us or anything like that. She just wants to be on the bed. So she built a extension like 2 feet wide by 4 feet wide to go at the end of the bed, right?
It was more than 4 feet. It basically, it's the same
height and
width of the bed.
So we just extended it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a couch table. It's sturdy, but if she got on it in the wrong position, then she fell in between it one time, which
she slipped between it, and then that was the end of that.
Yeah, I can't secure it to the bed because we need when we put the slides in, that the bed really goes all the way up against the other slide. So it has to be something that we could remove that was stationary, not stationary, the opposite of stationary.
Yeah.
And so
it has to be stable when it's there. But we have to be able to move it out of the space when we bring the slide in. Yeah, easily.
So it's going to be a sofa table back at the house.
Yeah, so
I was so proud of it too.
This is we can talk about this dog focus topic. So we've got a story about this because part of the reason we got a toy hauler, one of the main reasons we got a toy hauler besides the motorcycles, was we thought it would make a great, huge, perfectly sized dog room.
See, as soon as you say kennel, we should have known.
Yeah, for Priscilla, we thought, she don't like to be in small places, but when we're investing this much in a motorhome, we just weren't real comfortable. Place. We weren't comfortable having her have free reign.
She wouldn't possibly destroy anything.
Yeah, she's never destroyed anything except for shopping bags, plastic bags, things like that.
And a TV now.
And now a TV. So I think it was actually, there's a video coming up soon. I just thought about the separation anxiety. She just stole some thunder. But anyway, those of you that are in here, you get to hear it that she did right after we got this, the week that we got this.
3 days.
3 days after we got this, we put her in the garage. We were 50 feet away in our cousin's home. Just went in there for an hour and a half to have dinner. I came outside and looked through the window a couple times, and she was a little nervous, but the sun hadn't went down yet, and she wasn't doing anything damaging. So we went in, sat down, ate. We go back out there. The sun had set and darkness had came, and I think the darkness caused her to freak out because she couldn't see outside. She's kind of night blind, and the only thing you could possibly destroy in that garage with the couch and beds up was a TV, which was 7 feet in the air in the corner. And she just stood up on her back legs and basically bit the corner of it and chewed all the cords. And so she destroyed the TV in the garage. And so we started thinking about it, and she felt like she was in a giant kennel, I guess, when it got dark and didn't know where we went. So probably again our fault for doing it so quick after we got it. But the garage plan did not work.
Epic fail. Oh my gosh. So
is she spinning?
Because I don't have the blanket on her, she doesn't like it.
So we're not the only one.
Oh.
Customized. Well, this TV was definitely customized.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
And hello, Kathy. Well, you missed all of our great stuff, but the good news is it's being recorded, so you can come back and watch it. But thanks for coming in. We talked a little bit about Rover, being able to do pet sitting and pet boarding. We talked about some other tips and tricks as well with pets, and now we're just having an open, kind of an open topic discussion on different things that come up in the chat. We'll probably just stay live here for another five minutes or so, and then we'll let everybody go off to their evening. Here, I like this topic though. This
3
and Xbox controllers and an Xbox 360. Wow. Yeah. That's
painful.
That's our TV. You know how TVs are today. We could replace that TV for probably $120. So.
Night, Nelia.
Here's a good question. What do we use for vets on the road? You want to talk about that since you handle most of the vet stuff?
We haven't.
But you call. Any. We have the pet code.
We do. Yeah, Banfield. So they're on a medical plan, and before we hit the road, I make sure that all of their vaccinations and such are done, so we don't have to try to figure out how to get that done. But actually, there was one time where, when we were up in Seattle, one of them needed a shot, and so we just went to the local Banfield. Was it a shot?
I can't remember.
Anyway, I guess because we use Banfield, it makes it easier because they're nationwide. PetSmart.
PetSmart. Oops. Sorry, Banfield.
But that's been easy for us. So prescription wise for Priscilla, we haven't had any problems with them. So
here's a good suggestion as well, and then I see another post from North Star Great Danes about nationwide insurance. So we've never insured our dog, but I saw that there's lots of pets.
I looked into that, and the coverage wise, it's similar to like Banfield.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
it is very similar
because we pay per month and we get so many services and then a discount on. Okay.
I mean, all their vet visits are free, so we don't get charged. If they are sick, I don't have to pay an office visit. Their vaccinations are all included in that. Their flea and tick and heartworm and fecal exam, all of that. It was about the same price, and to me, it was just easier for me to understand versus. I don't know if it was specifically nationwide, but where you were allotted so many, and I don't know if you if you could pick any vet or if it was one that was in their plan.
Okay.
So,
and Bruce is asking how much. I think we roughly play around $45 per dog or $50 per dog per month. So,
and yeah, Presley's includes, she gets her teeth cleaned twice a year. So that includes it. And like I said, we don't have to pay any vet visits or office visits. To me, it's probably saved us a ton.
yeah. And it sounds like what North Star Great Danes talks about, more like your traditional insurance plan that a person would have, right? Where it covers 90% after a deductible. Ours doesn't work like that. Ours more of a wellness plan than an insurance plan, but it's worked for us as well.
Yeah.
And then here's another good one that we can probably share around Bulldog, about how you can learn and about which vets are good vets. So talking to other people and going to some of these groups. You got Facebook groups, you got Twitter groups, you got YouTube channels, lots of different things to use social media for what I think is one of the best benefits of social media, is that just connecting and collaboration with other people.
Yeah.
All right, guys. You see anything else here, hon, you want to talk about? Oh, our last topic of the night, we'll switch to football. So Aaron's asking who our Super Bowl pick is. Who's your pick?
That's going to be 49ers.
49ers?
West Coast.
But you like Mahomes, too.
I do.
Yeah, it's a tough one for us.
San Francisco.
Yeah.
That place.
If Mahomes wasn't such a awesome character, he's got good morals. He smiles when he plays. He just seems like the type of player that you want to get behind. So I really like him. But I've been a 49ers fan since I was a kid. I grew up with the St. Louis Cardinals football team, and they never really did anything. In fact, I don't think they ever won a playoff game. That's the St. Louis Cardinals. So I liked a lot of teams. I liked the 49ers. I liked the Seahawks because when I was little, it was like there's this brand new team that just came out of nowhere. The Seahawks and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I remember the Seahawks, they had some success right in the beginning, like 8-8 in their first or second season, whereas the Buccaneers lost their first 27 games. So I kind of became a Seahawks fan many, many years ago, even before I met her. And she grew up out there, and she was a Seahawks fan. So 49ers, Seahawks, both are teams that I'll follow. The Broncos I used to follow quite a bit too. And then later I liked the Arizona Cardinals after Kurt Warner went there. So right now, I'm just kind of rooting for a good game, but I guess probably pulling a little bit for the 49ers. And I sure wish the Seahawks would have beat the Packers so they could have had another shot at the 49ers, because they beat them once. And they came 1 inch short the second game, and I really think the Seahawks would be in the Super Bowl if they'd have beat the Packers, but they couldn't pull it out. Wait a second, Seahawks get Sherman back?
No,
no, Richard Sherman?
No.
Are you talking about Richard Sherman? Is that new news that we missed? I know they got Marshawn Lynch at the end of the season, but. Did you hear Suburban Florida Outdoors? Are they getting Richard Sherman back from the 49ers? I don't think so, because the season he's not even played in the Super Bowl yet. Yeah, probably Lynch, right? Thanks, Lucky Dog. Good night.
Everybody was.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I saw somebody posted something today that said it showed a poll and it had this pie chart.
Said rumor is Sherman is coming back next year.
Oh, that's awesome. There was this big pie chart, and there was a sliver that said this many thought the Chiefs were going to win. There was another exactly sized sliver that said 49ers were going, and the rest of the pie said everybody else is just glad the Pats aren't in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Sorry, Pats fans.
Yeah.
All right, folks, we're going to call it a night, but we had fun, and don't know when our next scheduled live will be or what the topic will be. You can email us if you want us to talk about a specific topic at contactus@pauseeffect.com. PAWZEFFECT.com. Don't go. They just got here.
Oh no.
That's a new friend. MTH666 with a doggy. So we like your doggy's face, but we're gonna have to connect with you on our next live because we've got a grocery run to do late at night over to Walmart, right?
I need a latte.
She needs a latte in the morning, and we're out of milk, so we've got to go get that. Oh, this is the doggy talking to us. Oh, well, our dogs are asleep.
Dogs are sleeping.
But they would love to talk to you. Our dogs are Priscilla and Presley. We will check your channel out, and we'll connect with you at another live down the road. Thanks for coming in. Thanks, everybody. Good night.